After getting, or sorry, not after getting, after packing up Rodney Terry and the boys and forcing Texas to fire Rodney Terry, Sean Miller is rumored, reported to be the next head coach for the Texas Longhorns. I think it's in like the contract negotiation stage right now, not necessarily official, so anything could happen. But Sean Miller, after 3 years with Xavier, um, after kind of being exiled from the coaching world. He is now back. Or sorry, not back. He was given a chance to come back by Xavier, and after 3 years, he is jumping to Texas to take over the job down there. Dion, I'll throw it to you first here, but I want to make something very clear before we discuss this. Um, Xavier's next move, they need to get a coach who doesn't treat them like a stop along the way, like a halfway house where you can better yourself before jumping somewhere else. They need to lock it in somehow. But this isn't about them. So, what are your thoughts on Sean Miller to Texas?
Um, it's like hiring Shaka Smart again. Like I feel like like it's I feel like Sean Miller, like we've seen what he can do. Like what's gonna be different with him at Texas than with him at any of his other stops? Do I think he's a good coach? I do. Um, do I think he's a coach that can do anything different um than like Texas has done in the past? Not really. I hope they got AC because one of my all-time favorite pictures is when he just like completely sweat through his suit. That was phenomenal.
Yes.
Um, I Listen, I'm not sure like what exactly is going to go differently for Texas. This feels like, I mean, kind of crazy because they like literally fired Rodney Terry, what, like 20 minutes before they announced the Sean Miller hire. So how long have they known this was going to happen? Like, did they go into that game against Xavier knowing Sean Miller was going to be like the next coach? Maybe. Did Sean Miller go into that game knowing he was going to be the next coach? Sounds like it. It kind of sounds like it was one of those, hey, if you beat our guy, you can have his job type of thing. I said this to Ralph, I believe it might have been offline, uh, but I don't think there's that many better jobs in the country than Texas. And I think some of the guys Texas was able to get to pick the phone up, like there's the rumors that Nate Oates turned it down. Just getting Nate Oates on the phone lines kind of shows that, right? Like it's kind of like when they got Nick Saban to pick the phone up. Did he say no? Absolutely. But like you're getting guys to pick the phone up that not many schools could get to pick the phone up. So it kind of surprises me from that perspective because I do believe if you wait a couple weeks, I'm not saying Todd Golden takes it. Todd Golden has to entertain the Texas job though. Like he has to. And I think there's some other coaches like Tommy Lloyd. Like you could get some guys to entertain this job that I think are better coaches than Sean Miller. But they lock their guy in. If that's their guy, whenever teams do stuff as quickly as Texas did, you have to respect it because that's their guy. They didn't let him get away. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it works for him. But I do believe they kind of sold themselves a little short here.
Yeah, to me it's an underwhelming hire for Texas, and I've been like a ipso facto Longhorn guy these past couple years. I'm always rocking with my horns. Um, I don't know. To me, Sean Miller would be like the option you settle for, not the first option, first call. It's Texas we're talking about here. Like they have funds, they have facilities. There's a plethora of talent in the state of Texas. Um, it's a very enticing job. And look, I have my questions about Sean Miller just as a coach. Like, first of all, Xavier gives him a chance after he was let go from Arizona because I don't know. To me, I don't know. Sean Miller's. I don't know if he's gonna have the same success he had when the playing field's level, right? Like he was paying players before paying players was like a really a thing, and now that everyone's paying players, I don't know if necessarily this is the guy that is gonna like bring Texas back. Like you this year for Xavier, this team had some talent. Like they had Conway, they had Fremantle, and this team fought for their lives and gets in the first four game. Yes, they win a first four game, but like at the same time, I don't know. It's just I would be very underwhelmed if I was a Texas fan, just thinking I could get somebody bigger. That's kind of how I feel about it. Because I mean, Texas, the bags are limitless, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like Texas, if you look at the football program, you look at how much they invested in that arena, because that arena is like second to none in the country. You're in Austin, which seems like the biggest market in the country in its own right. This feels underwhelming. It feels like they can get whoever they want. And that goes for not just coach, but recruit. So there's a ton of pressure on Sean Miller in my eyes. Like I got to see something this portal season. Like I got to see something different than Arthur Kaluma.
Right. Yeah, there needs to be a different approach to it. And that's I guess you got to give Miller credit, like he did get Conwell in the portal. So I mean that was a big ad. That was good, but there's a lot of work to be done here. And I'll be quite honest with you. I'll be willing to admit if I'm wrong. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. They might have hired white privilege Rodney Terry, with all due respect. So we'll see what happens with it. We'll see if it actually becomes official. Maybe there's a switch off here and they pivot somewhere else. But if nothing else, Sean Miller will be the coach of Texas.
Kelvin Sampson takes this job, right?
Kelvin Sampson? No, I don't
You
think
don't
so.
think so?
No, I think he's kind of like in his ways, and he's like 70 and his son's gonna take over for once he's done. I feel like he's in a good spot.
He goes to Texas, his son gets Houston, they're still close.
I wonder okay, listen, if I'm Texas, I'm calling everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Hell, you gotta tell me no.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like there's not a coach. I mean, like there's a handful of coaches I know would say no, right? And then there's a guy like Kelvin Sampson that I think I agree with you that ultimately says no, but he picks that phone up. And if you can get everybody on the phone, one of them's bound to say yes eventually. Like Patino might say yes. Sampson might say yes. You might be able to, I'm gonna be completely honest. If Arkansas lost that game yesterday, you might have got Cal to say yes.
You could have got a couple people to say yes, honestly. But look, we'll see how it happens. We'll see if it actually becomes official. Shout out to Sean Miller in Texas. I am not a Longhorn any longer. No pun intended. It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.